who is listening under the sound of my voice. I'm so grateful and thankful that we are here again today on Planet 5, Planetary Magic, here, of course, by me, Rafiki Simone. For all of my Patreon mystics who have ordered their stuff, I will be mailing it out tomorrow. If you have not, just move on, just like we're getting ready to go to this next slide. Okay. Planet 5 is Jupiter, right? Now, Jupiter's planetary symbol is going to be that two. It looks like a two and a four. This is what you want to use when you are doing sigil magic, or you want to put like on candles or paper or anything like that when you're using the energy of Jupiter, which is on a Thursday. Okay. The Hebrew name for the planet Jupiter is Siddiq. And the title of Jupiter, which is the divine mind in the tree of life in Kabbalah, is Chesed, meaning majesty and loving kindness. And the element of Jupiter, believe it or not, is water. I know some people have said air. I know some people, I've even heard people say earth because of growth and substantiality, but actually water. Water is what sustains the universe. It is what sustains our world, which is earth, right? So it is water because Jupiter does have an influence on sustaining security, that kind of thing. The characteristics of Jupiter, of course, the first one will be the most notable, which is wealth. The second one is going to be growth and expansion. The next one is going to be philosophy and spirituality. Now, this fourth one here is going to be notability and fame. Yes, you can use Jupiter for notability and fame, and I'll get back to that in a minute. Fortune and stability will be the next one. Power and authority, okay, will be that one, and also including in law. World travel, world commerce, business commerce is also in the characteristics of Jupiter. Anything dealing with law, okay. Miracles and law of attraction is in Jupiter, and I'll explain that one as well. Business and commerce, health and healing, and family, and also love. What a lot of people do not realize, what a lot of people do not realize with Jupiter, love, the expansion of love, self-love, love for others, love for self, love for family, relationship wise, love wise, you can use that, right? The law of attraction is also an expansion in energy, so that's also in Jupiter. Also, let's talk about the notoriety and fame one. Notoriety and fame is, it deals with Jupiter. Anytime I talk about Jupiter bringing notoriety and fame, I think of the Orisha Shango. Anytime you want to use an Orisha to get any form of notoriety and fame, you really want to use Shango, because Shango is the one who actually puts you in a circle of influence that you can be able to directly or be 1 degree away from someone who can literally change your life with notoriety and fame. Now, remember, notoriety and fame does not include success. So you want to be specific when you are petitioning Jupiter for notoriety and fame for success, which would be prosperity and wealth, right? Let's talk about deities of Jupiter. Now, the first one is actually not a deity. It is actually a person called Melchizedek, which is the high priest of Jupiter. You've heard about him in the Bible. He is known to be the one who has no beginning or end. This is the one that Abraham gave 10% to when he was on his way. He is like the high priest of God himself. Some people say that Melchizedek is is God in the flesh that walks the earth. That kind of thing. He is benefic, which means he's beneficial to you. He is benevolent. He is someone who would be on your side. The number 4, lapis lazuli and square shapes are things to keep in mind when you want to work with Melchizedek. The energy of Melchizedek is also a good energy to tap into, in the color purple and royal blue. Is something that you want to keep in mind with trying to channel the energy of Melchizedek, because of the simple fact that being a high priest, those are like royal colors, but at the same time, he also helps gives wisdom, especially when you are what we call casting lots. Casting lots would be in any form of tarot and or divination. Okay, so he would be a good energy to work with for that specific type of wisdom you want to bring forth and accuracy you want to bring forth. He also can be represented by the horn of plenty, right? You've seen it before, that little horn with a bunch of fruits in it. That's something that you would want to put on an altar, or when you're working with him, you want to put up as an energy, or even just like a plate of fruits, a gold or a silver charger. We call them chargers, but plates. You know, you can put a bunch of fruits on there as an offering to him, at least for 4 days. After that, you put it under a tree and let nature take its course. Either the fruits will die or wild animals will come and get it. Okay. Then you have Marduk. Marduk was a Babylonian god of magic. Now, here's what's interesting about Marduk. Remember, I told y'all about him last week when we dealt with Mercury. He was one of the most powerful and common, well known deities in Babylonian times, right? He is the son of the Anunnaki god Ea. Ea, and I forgot how to say his mom's name. He's known to restore joy and grant plentiful harvest. He's also the master of magic, in which he banishes evil and demonic energies, or what you call negative energies or negative spirits, demonic energies, demonic spirits, by way of water. When you are dealing with Marduk and you want to banish something, you need to take a bath. You need to take a shower. You need to be fully submerged. I know it's going to be getting hotter. So, you'll be able to do this at any time of the day or night. However, keep in mind that it is still cold, so you might want to do this when you are going to be indoors. When you are doing this, you want to take a part of your bath water and you want to throw it out, right? You don't need to go to the crossroads. You actually can go to a graveyard, or you can go anywhere away from your home and actually dump that part of the water there. He strictly is a water energy or water spirit. Hence, sometimes you may see him with like a fish hat, like a Pope's hat, which is actually a fish hat. So this is what Marduk does. He can be used to initiate justice and karma. Please keep in mind that this is not for revenge purposes, right? Lightning bolts are his symbol, and he likes different color transparent gemstones like sapphires, rubies, emeralds, diamonds. Any gemstone that you can like either shine light through and see through, that's something that he really likes. Okay, when you're working with him, so you might want to put something like that on an altar or as an offering up to him. You can keep that. You don't have to put it in the ground or anything. But something that is like see-through, you can get like a clear quartz if you want to get a bunch of them. The clear quartz is pretty cheap. You can get like the little tumbled stones, and then you can actually throw that in the water. What you can do is program one, like speak to it, talk to it. If you have a singing bowl, while you are playing the singing bowl, put those stones in there, right? But one at a time. So the first stone you put in there while you're playing a singing bowl, or any kind of bell or anything, you can hold it in your hand while you're shaking the bell in the other hand. And what you want to do is speak over the first one and say, hey, this is an offering for Marduk, right? Then you take that, you put that one down, you pick another one up, and then you ask what you want, or clarity of mind, clarity of this, to clear that. That's what you want to do. Specifically, I'm giving y'all the energy to work with clear quartz because it is universal. You can really program it for anything. And also, because it's called clear quartz, you can use it to clear out things or clear out energy, so you can actually make room to receive. So this is really good. I have not tried, I have done a petition with him before. I do like his energy. He is kind of slow to move for some people, but hey, it depends on what it is or what you're petitioning for. uh Indra, which is a Hindu god of rain. Now, please keep in mind that some of these pictures that I'm going to be showing y'all have been whitewashed and that kind of thing over time. A lot of these old paintings were like melanated and got whitewashed, or Indian washed in this case, right? So it is said that he no longer interferes in the life of humanity itself. But what I do like about him is that he sends help by way of a deity according to the nature of the issue. So, like, let's say, for example, you are petitioning him for some form of help. He knows, let's say it's love. He knows which Hindu god or goddess to send to you so that it can be best efficient or sufficient for your life, right? That's what I do like. He can be petitioned for divine intervention of events and can send quote unquote winks, like winks of the universe, or what is that called? Synchronicity, to show you which deity will be answering your call. You may have a dream, you may hear something on the radio with a Hindu deity name in it, you may come across something in the store. It's winks from the universe, right? It's synchronicity. All right, let's go to the next one. Sarasvati. This is the Hindu goddess of abundant waters, right? So she is known as the power behind God, or in this case, Brahma, because this is a Hindu goddess, right? She would be like the equivalency of Yemoja in Ifa, Yemeya, and Santeria, all right? Mami Wata in Benin and other parts of Haiti, right? She's known to help petitioners with speech or speaking. She will give you words for eloquent speech, that kind of thing. Arts, music, and sacred knowledge. She really does like knowledge and inner beauty. Okay, stringed instruments, guitars, lyres, harps, um, bass, whatever has, instruments that strings, that's what she likes. Lotus flowers, beautiful studded necklaces, tiaras, little small crowns that you can get out of the store. She likes that. Anything white, peacock feathers, swan feathers are also favorites of hers, so you can use that to petition her. She can be invoked for divine oracle guidance and abundance, and often speaks messages through songs. Okay, that's one thing I do like about her as well. She does use the energy and the spirit of songs. I like that she uses the frequency of songs, and she makes what she says tangible in our world, right? She can safely open the third eye. She can help you safely open the third eye and balance the crown chakra as well. And beauty of the spirit and within is something that she specializes in. I didn't mean for that to be a comment. Now this is interesting, right? We know my aunt as an air energy, right? Which she is. But um the first one that I did for y'all, um I want to say was Sunday. So that would be the sun. I know that she came up in the conversation, but she is the goddess of justice. She's the Egyptian goddess of justice, which she definitely has Jupiter energy. Okay. Some of y'all know a lot about her, but look, even though she is associated with the element of air, she deals with Jupiter and Saturn if need be. Saturn is a teaching planet, because of universal law and her benevolence. She's a benevolent deity, which means she's for your favor and not for your harm. The only thing that is known for her though is that she's very rigid because she deals with universal law, which means is that like you don't get any second chances with her, right? So when she weighs a dead person's heart on her scale, if it's lighter than the feather, then it's fine. But if it's heavier than that feather, they don't get a second chance to weigh their heart. That's it. It's done, right? So ostrich feathers is something that you want to use with her. If you look on the left side of this picture that I chose to use for her, you see a clay pot or clay vase. What you want to do is actually take a clay vase and you want to put it in the northern part of your home, okay? The northern part of your home. Now, depending on the compass and how you look at it, what is northern part for you? I don't know. If you have a two-story home, you want to put it in the upper two-story northern home of a part of your home. Northern sometimes may for some people may be what faces the street. Okay. But you want to have some form of water for her, whether it stands still or a small fountain, it does not matter. And an ostrich feather is always good to keep. A balance beam or balance scales is also something that you want to have in your home, period, just to pay homage to her, right? And that just to invoke her wisdom, that's good enough. If you are looking for harmony and justice and not revenge, then she's the one you want to work with. Okay. And you also want to keep, you also want to look up her 40 laws. I think it's like 40 or 44 laws that you want to also keep. Like if you can print it out and get it laminated and put it up in a little frame from Dollar Tree or something like that. You can always use stuff like that for you. Put it in a white frame, a purple frame, or a blue frame, or a gold frame. is and put it, if you got an office, put it up there in your office. You recite them, try to do it on a daily basis. That's how you also pay homage to her. Remember, we are working with these deities. We're not worshiping them. We're working with them. Okay. We're paying homage to them and we're showing them respect. So let's not confuse what we're doing with worship. It's not worship. Okay. Let's go into the animals of Jupiter. Of course, you're going to see some reoccurring animals. You might not. It's doesn't even matter. But the owl, right? That beautiful owl. It's my favorite flying animal besides the eagle. But beautiful. Looks like a little alien, but it's beautiful. It's a barn owl, by the way. Little alien face. Alien. Okay, next. The next one we're going to do or explore is swans. Swans. Swans have Jupiter energy, expansive energy, and they're very beautiful, delicate, but they are strong when need be, right? Let's see the next one. Whales. Huge, strong, big, rulers of the sea. Okay. White bulls. White bulls. And also unicorn. Now, one of the reasons why I chose to add this mythical creature in there is because it actually has been proven that unicorns actually do exist. They may not be covered in every color of the rainbow, but they actually do exist, and they have existed over time. So, something that has become methodical or mythological. That's what I meant to say. Mythological was once ancient. Okay, it actually really existed. Now, unicorn energy, which have been convoluted by the powers that be, the elite, which is they say it's like a form of a pedo symbol, whatever, erected penile structure on the head for the beast of burden, which would be dependents, which are children. But we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it in its strong context, right? Um, the unicorn is what Jupiter uses to make what you think is impossible possible. Right? So if you have an affinity for unicorns and you're wondering why, this may actually be it. You may be a child of Jupiter, right? Thursdays. For me, Thursdays is when my relaxation gets popping. So I gel really well with Thursdays, which is, I like Thursdays. And I love Jupiter energy. It's actually one of my favorite planets. So let's go off into trees, herbs, fruits, and other things, right? This is all oak trees, which carry the energy of wisdom and ancient and spiritual knowledge, is something that will invoke the energy or help you invoke the energy with Jupiter. Now, the good thing about this is all these things are natural, which it falls into universal law and nature, which is cohesive or works together with the universe. So these are things that you can use in spell work, and I'll help you. If you know an oak tree, somebody got an oak tree, or you could take a branch from off an oak tree and make a wand with it. That's what I do. And I got my wand in my van. I've been having for 7 years. And the wand, it ain't cute. It ain't, I don't have no copper wire around it or nothing. I'm telling y'all what I have. It's just a branch. And I use that. I use it. And I keep it in my car, you know. And just to bring a sense of protection and wealth and expansion. And, I mean, you use these things for different stuff. This one is cedar. If you can find the essential oils for these trees that I am talking to y'all about today, you definitely would want to use it. And kind of like, like for me, I take my mop water and I put essential oils in my mop water. Some of these essential oils I may drop too, in my washing machine when I'm washing clothes for whatever I want to invoke on that day. You know what I'm saying? So for some of y'all, believe it or not, if you want to take some lemongrass for money, you want to attract money through your clothes. you want to put a few essential oil drops in while you're washing your clothes. And that's a jewel that I dropped a few years ago when I first started my YouTube channel. But cedar is not only good for protection and banishing, which a lot of people tell you because they have different witch spells, but it's also good for growth, expansion, and wealth. Maple maple trees are to sweeten your life, also to bring in stability. It's also to bring in wealth. Also, business commerce is really good for maple. Juniper, and another one that I did not include on here, which was the obvious one, was pine. You hear my baby. What I like to do is I like to go to Sedona and I actually take these juniper berries and I pick them. Okay. Now they're gonna feel very bitter on the hands. When I say bitter, it's like the stickiness. When you smell your hand, you can smell that it's actually bitter. I take these and I let them dry out outside. Okay. And then I grind them down. Now they're not gonna always like they're not gonna be like a powder substance fully because the inside still will be a little sticky. But what I do is I use this in spell work, right? And you can use this with different types of spells, but I always use this for money. Juniper has the energy, a Jupiter energy that that is really good for wealth, money, wealth, business opportunities, anything that will help you create money or make money fall out the sky. I use juniper. Okay. Okay. Hyssop. This is for the energy of banishing, and then calling in peace, right? This is for banishing all any and all negative energies. It's also good. Jupiter helps gets rid of hexes through hyssop, hexes and curses. Okay, this is like Bible magic. So Psalms 91, Psalms 37, Psalms 1, Psalms 15, Psalms 17, Psalms 28, Psalms 23, Psalms 100 is straight hyssop. Okay, hyssop. What everybody else does not know, and which I haven't heard anybody talk about, is the hyssop plant when being used under Jupiter energy, which is the day of Jupiter or the hour of Jupiter on any other day, especially like the day of a Friday in the hour of Jupiter, would actually cleanse your aura to call in love. Hyssop. Hyssop is good for any maiden. Um, when I say maiden, you heard me correct. Anybody who was single that is calling in love. You want to read Proverbs 31 when you're doing this, okay? Before or afterwards. You want to read about the virtuous woman. Flaxseed, right? Flaxseed. Now, this is very interesting. In any event that you do spell work with flaxseed, please understand that you are asking for something to come quick. No matter what it is, this is for something for it to come quick, for it to stick, and for it to be able to move with you along life's journey. You have ups and downs, right? But anything that can make a gel can move and still stay intact, right? So flaxseed would be that what you would use in that retrospect or retrospect. Sage. Any and all types of sages is good here. Culinary sage is just as good as the sage that you burn around your home, right? So that is really good to keep in mind. It's a banishing energy. One thing you should know what to do with sage is culinary sage that you buy out the store you could cook with and eat. What you would want to do with that sage is actually boil and the soft sage, exactly how you see in this photo right here. You want that fresh, soft sage. You want to be able to boil your water in a pot on the stove. When it gets to a rolling boil, you want to turn it off. You want to put that fresh sage in there. And you also want to use that hyssop too. When it comes to love, you want to use the sage and the hyssop together. The sage is going to cleanse your aura. It's going to knock out all of your old energies of love or hurt, pain, or whatever disappointments concerning love. And then the hyssop is going to go right in and do its work, right? The next one is sarsaparilla. Um, some people say sarsapilla or sarsaparilla. I've heard it, but I might be saying it wrong. But I said sarsaparilla. Okay, I said it wrong, but it's sarsaparilla. This is you hear this all the time. Like this, it has been something that's booming with like shakes and protein and this kind of stuff. But believe it or not, what you want to use this for is money. You want to use this to attract money. Okay. This type of thing you want to use with money. You want to sprinkle a little bit of that powder in your shoe with a dime facing down to where the back of the dime is facing up. You want to do this for 4 to 7 days. I usually do it for 7 days because of the strength. And listen, I'm not sprinkling this shit in my shoe every day. I'm doing it once. Okay? I'm doing it once. And when I'm doing it, I'm sprinkling it and I'm saying, yes, money will follow me and come to me and be attracted to me all the days of my life. I start on a Thursday and I end on a Thursday. And I sprinkle it in the shape of a dollar sign. Call me crazy, but that's what I do. Believe it or not, lime rinds and lime. What would really be a good thing to do with this is, and this is, lime has a property that will banish negative energies out of your home. So I did this thing for a friend, right? She had a roommate, and her and her roommate had like 20 years of friendship. But this girl was actually living off of them. And let me tell y'all something. I took a few limes. I took rock salt, right? I cut the limes with like in a cross at the top, okay? And but I cut the lime in half. And then I took that lime and I took both halves of the lime and I cut crosses in them. You could do it on the top or on the back, it doesn't matter. And then I put them in like north, south, east, west on a white plate. Then I took rock salt and I put a circle around that and I put it on top of her refrigerator. And what happened was is that it banished the girl out of my friend's apartment. She was trying to get rid of her. So I just helped her. Okay. She was a negative energy. Everything bad that's happened to her has happened with that girl around her. So limes are very powerful in banishing energy, right? You can get lime essential oil. You could put it in anything you want to banish, right? But limes also helps with wealth. Believe it or not, limes help with wealth. So let me tell y'all what I do. And this is something that's extremely simple. I get real limes like you see in this photo. And I rub them in my hands. You know how you trying to make citrus fruit really soft? So you rubbing your hands, you put pressure on it. And I just say I'm so grateful and thankful that as I eat this lime as it's going into my body is just like creating an energy of money to magnet. I make it a money magnet. And you can also do different other things with lime, not just banishing. But also if you own a brick and mortar business or if you have a business and you run it out of your home, what you want to do is you want to cut a lime open and sprinkle lime juice, especially if you have a carpet. Okay, what you want to do, you want to sprinkle lime juice, or if you don't have something like this, you want to put lime juice in your mop water, and you want to pour it out in the front of your house, right? But you want to trickle it until it reaches your doorstep. Okay, this is inviting the energy of money in. Okay, now this plant you don't eat. It's called a green Thai plant. What you see, this the big leaves on it, the flat leaves, the big ones, the white ones. This plant, this plant is good to have in your house to attract money. The cousin of a green Thai plant is also a Chinese money tree, right? So if you can't find the green tide plant, these have different names. You can find them in Lowe's, you can find them in Office Depot. They are there. They may have a different name, but as long as they look like what it is in the picture, and I'm not talking about the small ones that you see below. I'm talking about the ones that you see on the right and the left hand side of this picture. You want to keep that in your home, preferably by your door. Some people say in the kitchen where the water flows. Some people say also in the bathroom. I say, hey, look, I'm a plant lover. The more the merrier, right? Let's go to the next one. Metals, minerals, and gemstones. Of course, tin, which would be aluminum foil. You want to do the planetary symbol on tin and let your money lay on it. If you can, if you remember that money box that I taught y'all how to do, you might want to put the inside of that money box in tin. That's also dope. Um, you can also burn your incense. This is just something that I do. I don't, I'm not saying that you should do this, but this is just something that I do. And if y'all go to my ancestor money magic, my ancestor money video on YouTube, you see that I'm actually using like a round tin thing to burn it in, but I actually use aluminum foil. I just make it into a bowl, and honestly, that's what I burn my stuff in, especially when I'm petitioning my ancestors for money. The next one is going to be zinc. Zinc, right? And the other one is going to be antimony. Now, antimony can actually come in the form of some form of like a gemstone metal, kind of like pyrite, that kind of thing. So, if you can get your hands on some antimony, which is kind of rare, you want to put that like on an altar or whatever, just to bring in the energy of Jupiter magic. This is again, these things are not just to be used for wealth and money. I know that people just think Jupiter is about wealth and money, but as I showed you before, the keywords in the beginning, you want to use those keywords as a means to do your spell work with. Okay, let's go into the gemstones: sapphire, lapis, amethyst, turquoise, labradorite, aquamarine, and all tektites. Moldavite, tektite, whatever that is. I have a moldavite. Oh, child, I can't meditate with that thing in my hand no more than 7 minutes. It start to pulling shit out, and I start to getting drained because it works so fast. All of these things are something for you to use to help invoke Jupiter energy. All right, let's talk about this crown chakra here. Now, located on the top of the head, the crown chakra is responsible for the downloading and uploading of knowledge and wisdom. Your spiritual enlightenment is affected by the health of your crown wheel. Remember, the word chakra just means will. This chakra helps you to tap into universal connection, consciousness, and oneness. When your crown chakra is too open, there can be mental issues like paranoia, schizophrenia, OCD, etc. This is also an indication of heavy metals through foods affecting the brain and the cranium. Okay, so keep in mind with what you eat. All right, because what you eat can affect your chakras. When your crown chakra is closed, there may be issues such as like brain fog, memory issues, short-term memory. Also can be a false memory. False memory is when you thought something was true, but it really wasn't. Yeah, I remember when you did such and such, and really in reality, no, that's not really true. And they may have the video to back it up that you actually remembered it wrong. That kind of thing, okay? So make sure you have a balance. You don't want your stuff too open. You don't want your stuff too closed. A lot of people that I know who are paranoid schizophrenics or have some form of a mental issue where they have hallucinations and different things like that, I've noticed that their crown chakra is too open. Remember, I told y'all, and it wasn't no shade or no tea, but I know I know that cancers, out of all of the zodiacs that I've met, and this is just by my experience, and it's also by just the downloads and the uploads that I've received from spirit. that the people that are on the zodiacs that are most prone is cancer signs. And I truly believe it's because a lot of their crown chakras are already open. So they may not have to do as much. They're already like naturally inclined into spirituality, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that every other zodiac sign is not spiritually inclined. I'm just saying that there's something that I've seen as a consistency that cancer signs usually are more prone to that. Water signs, period, for that fact, are can be prone to it. They're open energy. They have an openness already. But I digress. The planetary health of Jupiter, right? So that gallbladder thing is not. Actually, I lied. That is true. Yeah, it can govern, but not the gallbladder part. White blood cells, that's not true. The motor system, yes. The head and the face energy levels, that is definitely true. This part, I forgot to change that one. But actually, don't worry about these two parts that's showing up. I actually know it by heart because I've been going over this thing over and over again. So the planetary health, you want to pay attention to, again, mental state. Your mental state. Everything from the neck up, you want to pay attention to. I know the throat chakra is included in the neck, but those top three chakras, the neck, the third eye, or the pineal gland, and the crown, it really does work together. Okay, it's especially the last two, which would be the third eye chakra and the crown chakra, which is kind of like interconnected, right? I like to call them close cousins. Um, you want to be able to, make sure that your mental health is aligned. Okay. Now, believe it or not, the planetary health of Jupiter also works with weight. Okay. Weight. When dealing with weight issues, weight loss, you need to please, and I listen, please hear me. You want to work with the energy of Saturn. I can't stress this shit enough. If you fuck around and do weight loss in spells or work on yourself or for somebody else in the hour of Jupiter or on a Thursday, you're gonna cause weight gain. Okay, you want to stay away from the hour of. Listen, if you're gonna do some shit, do it at least 2 hours after or before. You do not want to do weight loss spells or conjurings anywhere around the energy of Jupiter. It's an expansive planet. It grows, it gets big, it gets wide. Okay? That is the downside of Jupiter. All right? Next. There we go. Planetary hours of the sun. So you have that Thursday. You see that Thursday? Now, again, remember, the hour actually starts, the hour of that day starts when it's sunrise. If not, if you want to just keep it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then repeat once it hits 1 p.m., you can. Don't repeat this because this is hours of the day. So this goes from 1 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? So let's say, for example, you want to do a weight loss spell. You want to lose weight fast. You want to do it on a Saturday in the hour of Mars. You want to be aggressive. You want it to be, fast and aggressive. That's what you want to do. Anything that's restrictive, you want to do it on a Saturday, day of Mars, day of Saturday, the hour of Mars, the hour of Saturn. With the sun, if you want to have a successful weight loss journey, you want to try to do it on a Saturday in the hour of the sun. If you want to become glamorous and beautified outwardly while you are doing some self improvement physically wise, you want to do it in the hour of Venus on the day of Saturday. Mercury for weight loss. Believe it or not, you can use the day of Saturday and the hour of Mercury if you want to become a weight loss coach in some form or another. You want to use the hour of Mercury and the day of Saturn, right? With the moon. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. Dealing with weight loss. I know we're talking about Jupiter, but I just want to put this out there because some of y'all have been asking me about weight loss. And it may not even be in my Patreon mystics, but I just want to give y'all some gems about this. With the moon, what you want to be careful about, okay? Remember, the moon pulls on water. Jupiter is water, okay? So on a Monday, you want to petition weight loss in the hour of Saturn because this may be a slow and steady weight loss, but if you do it on a Monday, different energies can come to you or in by way of people or information like social media that actually help you pick what can help you further your weight loss and keep it off over time. Okay? Number 2, if you are on some form of a pill that will help you lose weight, like Adderall or anything that fucks with your nervous system, you do not, and I repeat, you do not want to petition for weight loss on the day of Monday, on the day of the moon, or the hour of the moon. You will be fucked up. If you're dealing with weight loss through surgical means, you want to avoid Monday at all costs. I'm telling you right now. You want to do it on a Thursday or Wednesday. Okay? For weight loss when it comes to surgical means. All right. This is planetary hours of the night, as you can see here. Now we're going to move on to the next. Candle colors for Jupiter. It's not rocket science. It's about 3 colors. It's blue, white, and purple. I know a lot of people who use John the Conqueror alongside of the energy of Jupiter, so that they can be so they can conquer what it was coming forth with no obstacles, with no energies of obstacles attached. Okay, you can use either of these 3. The to tap into rapid healing, you want to use blue, white, or white, right? For knowledge and wisdom, you want to use any of these. Believe it or not, you can use any of these colors for money. Okay, green is not just the color of money, y'all. You can use purple or blue and white for money magic when dealing with Jupiter. Okay, you don't have to stick to green. You don't. You don't. You don't. You want knowledge on how to get a business? Use purple, right? You want protection of your business? White and blue. Protect your money? White and blue. Keep the money flowing like water? Blue or white. These are listen, listen, I want y'all to deprogram yourself about how you feel about green. Okay? The angels of Jupiter. There's only one here. His name is Zachiel. He is the angel of mercy and grace. He heals emotional wounds and childhood trauma, or trauma, period, for that matter. He does work to reconcile relationships of any kind. Now, listen, don't go petitioning Zachiel if you left this nigga, or this nigga done left you, or this woman done left you, or she done left you, or you done left her behind some fuck shit, and y'all know y'all toxic. Don't go petitioning Zachiel. It's not gonna happen like that. Okay? And then you be upset that you got the person back when they start putting you through some more shit. Well, that's why you should have let them stay gone for a reason, right? Zakia also banishes depression and gives strength and healing to those in an energy of those who are stuck in the energy of brokenness. Now, one thing I do like about Zakiel is this: you can petition Zakiel to harp other angels that can protect your home. Okay, it does give off a purple or a white aura. um, or white light, white white orbs, purple orbs. Let's say you take pictures all the time and there's always a purple or white orb. That could be him. Okay, something, some angels, some people and the old people from where I'm from say, every child is assigned an angel upon birth. Some people may have him or her because angels can carry any gender, believe it or not. Some people may actually have him as a birth angel. Okay. All right. Well, discussion time. Let's get it popping below. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope I have helped somebody. And the next one will be Venus. I love y'all. Be careful and take care.